What's going on, guys? Brendan Dzwierzynski with you from Jefferson Gymnasium in Jeff City, Missouri, where today the Washburn men and women split their games against the Blue Tigers of Lincoln University in the final ever conference road game between Washburn and Lincoln here in Jeff City. The men win a thriller 70-69. The women fall in the first game of the doubleheader by a margin of 77-64. Let's start with that men's game from today. A couple of unbelievable performances. 4 different Ichabods score in double figures in the game. No one with a bigger day, though, than Andrew Orr. A game-high 18 points, 7 rebounds in the contest. And in those 18 points, that included the game-winning free throw with just 1.4 seconds left on the clock. A foul very late in the contest after Washburn had been up 4, allowed 2 free throws to Lincoln, then turned the ball over, leading to another Lincoln basket. But going the other way with under 4 seconds left, Washburn gets it in. Orr gets fouled with just 1.4 seconds left on the clock. Hits one of 2 free throws, the number 4 free throw shooter by percentage in the entire country, knocks that one down. Washburn goes on to win after a full court heave at the end of the game by Lincoln went begging at the horns. Orr finishes with 18 and 7 for the game, 7 of 9 from the floor. Those 7 rebounds big as well. Head coach Brett Ballard of Washburn has really been trying to work with him on being more physical and really trying to reaffirm the need for physicality in the post on both ends. He showed it in spades in this game today. Jarmel Johnson, it took him 18 shots. He was just 5 of 18 from the floor, but he had 13 points in this game. Played with a lot of confidence on both ends, had 3 steals in the contest, which is a new season high, and also had the highlight of the day to the court just over here to my left, your right, just yamming on a defender for Lincoln, rising up baseline drive and hammering one home. He has 13 points in the game. Sam Ungashik, this year's Washburn leading scorer, he had 13 points, a lot of that in the second half game at the free throw line, and then 11 as well for Michael Keegan, who ended up with his second career double-double and his second in just the last couple of games. 11 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and more impressive than just 11 rebounds, how about 6 of them on the offensive glass? Toughness, grittiness, those were some of the hallmarks for Washburn in this game. And just talking to Brett Ballard a few moments ago, he told me rebounding is what won Washburn this game. They were plus 10 in rebounding margin, top 15 in the country in rebounding margin. And today they were plus 10, 45-35 with 16 offensive rebounds as well for Washburn. As for our women's game today, not such great news for the Washburn women. They fall 77-64. Lincoln had gone up by as many as 19 points in the second half, and it really was never even as close as 13 points indicated at the end of the game. Things got away from Washburn late. A couple of times they started to build a little bit of momentum, but it was clear in the fourth quarter that Lincoln would not be denied today. And a great example of that, Amani Jones, who came into this game for Lincoln, and I've got her season stats in front of me here. She came into today averaging under 7 points and just over 3.5 rebounds a game. Today she puts up 23 on 10-16 shooting and 10 rebounds for the game as well for her first career double-double. That's the kind of game it was for Lincoln. Washburn, not nearly as much luck. There were a couple of double-figure scores, in fact, for the Blue Tigers in this one. Just one for the Ichabods in the losing effort. That was Aubrey Dewey, who tied her career high. She set it with 28 points in the loss to Central Missouri back on Wednesday night in Warrensburg. Well, today she pours in another 28, 21 of which came in the fourth quarter. But as Laura Wesley told me when I interviewed her after the game, a lot of that was really because Lincoln was just allowing her to run to the basket at the end of the game, didn't want to give up any late fouls or anything like that. So in the end, it is indeed a Washburn loss in the women's game, 77-64, dropping the Ichabods to 10-5 in their overall record and 5-4 in MIAA play. Just the second MIAA win for Lincoln. And another note about that one, it was the first ever win for Lincoln against Washburn in women's action head-to-head. They'll have a rematch coming up later on this season. Meanwhile, for the Washburn men, now 34-6 all-time in 40 career all-time meetings against the Lincoln Blue Tigers. The next Washburn basketball action coming up on Country 106.9. That will be on Wednesday night back home at Lee Arena. We're excited to see you out there. It'll be Washburn versus Missouri Southern State. The women will tip off at 5:30. The men will follow somewhere around 7:30, and our broadcast start time is set for 5:15 Wednesday night, January 17th, on your home for Washburn Ichabod Sports, Country 106.9, KTPK Topeka. Until then, I'm Brendan Dzwierzynski, the voice of the Ichabods, saying goodbye from Jeff City Mo and goodbye from Jefferson Gymnasium at Lincoln University. The Washburn women fall by 13. The Washburn men win by 1. We'll talk to you on 580 Sports Talk coming up on Monday, and we'll talk to you from Lee Arena coming up next Wednesday for more Ichabod Hoops.